All right, in this guide, I want to show you how we helped one of our clients land a client for them using our AI system, our AI cold email system. I'm going to walk you through step by step exactly what we did. We've got another video on this, but this one's going to be a lot more in depth, and I'm going to show you exactly what we did and the process behind it. So, just to give you a very quick, brief rundown. So, they were struggling to get consistent clients without referrals or inbound, and they didn't want to rely on word of mouth. They were just like another marketing agency. They were doing web design, web development, social media strategy, and things like that, designing creatives. And they wanted to expand into new markets. So the client that we actually got them was from a new market in the US. So what we did was we used cold email and AI personalization at scale to reach their ideal customers. So we used the AI to actually perform part of the research to basically allow us to do in-depth research and to create personalization and relevance so that when we reached out, it would obviously strike a chord and we'd be able to actually book in a meeting. And then we, like I said here, yeah, the AI was to improve the relevance. This is just some of the results from the campaigns. So we ran it for multiple different industries. And you can see here that they finally locked in the client. So yeah, I want to show you the process, and this is going to be using Clay. So Clay is where we enrich the data. We actually built the initial list using excuse me, using a data provider called ListKit. ListKit's a little bit more expensive. I think they end up charging around sort of $79 per 1,000 verified credits. Excuse me. And so we pulled a list from there. This is actually just a smaller list. So I'm just showing you like a sample size here because obviously we had thousands of leads in this campaign. But what we did was once we built the initial list, and you can see all the regular kind of columns, you got LinkedIn, website, the industry, the technologies that they were using. So we could actually filter by the technologies that they were using. We could put in a filter here, and we could type in, technology. Let's just say they were using, I don't know, WordPress, and then it would filter all the ones that have WordPress. But we didn't do that, but you could do that if you wanted to. And then what we did was we enriched the company. So enriching the company basically means we told it to go to this LinkedIn URL here and to pull the information and scrape the LinkedIn page for in our case here was the description. So the reason why we want to pull the description is because one of our AI lines or initial lines that we used was basically a comment around what they did as a company, right? Now this is like our fallback line. This isn't what we lead with, but if we're not able to find any other personalization, whether it's I don't know, company growth rate or tech stack or anything that aligns, but we still got them as in our lead list and we still want to contact them, then we would tell GPT to basically analyze what's in the description here, right? So this company offers comprehensive solutions for personalizing e-commerce product pages, right? And then what we would do is we'd pull that, we would also just pull a bit more information around the employees and the company URL and everything. And then what we did was we told AI to go over to here and to analyze the information, and then to create a sort of mission statement or an intro line, essentially, that we could use when reaching out to this company. So if we come in here and we look at the prompt, I'm not going to read the whole prompt out, but you can see it. Using the input, generate a sentence summarizing what the company does. This is the input, and then we would map it to the input here with the description. Keep the output under 8 words, and use specific keywords from the input, right? So then you can see here, was on your site and saw you optimize e-commerce product pages with AI. And that is pretty much what they do. Offers a comprehensive solution for personalizing your e-commerce product pages in real time with AI-powered testing. It's basically what they do, right? So you can see here that it's like short, concise, and it's just another way of us being able to personalize the emails rather than just using a generic. There's obviously different ways that you can segment lists. There's different ways that you can personalize these emails, but this was a very simple way where it's always like our fallback. If we're not able to find any other personalization or any other relevance, then the best thing we can do is we pull their description and then we tell AI to look at their description and then build out like an initial line based on that. So that's what we did. The next thing that we did as part of our email copy was we used one of Clay's features called AI agent or Clayagent, which basically said to it, so if I pull up the what the mission is. So an AI agent, for those who don't know, is you can kind of tell it, you can give it a task, and then it will be autonomous in its own sense. So it's really great for pulling information that is not easily done with just like a regular scraper. It's kind of like a scraper built in with AI, where it can actually figure out what to do in terms of next steps. So what I mean by this is you could tell it, hey, based on, so for example, this is the company to look at, right? And we would give it the website. So then it would go onto the website and it would search different pages on the website to find the information based on whatever mission we gave it to do, right? So in this case, does this company here have any new product features that they have recently launched? So if you wanted to do this, it'd be very hard to do this unless you're doing it manually, which is then impossible to do at scale, really, at this kind of scale. Or you would have to scrape the website, but it's incredibly hard to do it. So this is able to pinpoint and pick out specific bits of information, like a product launch that they've mentioned on their website, or new features that they have on their website, and things like that, which you might not be able to do anywhere outside of that unless you're doing it manually and manually going through. Don't look at programmatic SEO pages. Look at just the main homepage and see if they talk about new features or upcoming releases. If they do not mention them, comment in more detail what they do and what they offer, right? So then you tell it to kind of take on a role, and then this is a company to look at. So this obviously didn't mention anything. So this says here, offers a range of features in their practice management EMR software, including appointment reminders, easy charting, and so on and so forth. So then when you reach out, you can have the intro line, which is, hey, I was on your website and saw this, right? And that's okay as a fallback. But then if they have features, or if they have anything else that's in more detail on their website, you can actually mention those things. Now, the most important thing is to make sure that this comes back to what you're actually offering in the email. If it is completely irrelevant, there's going to be a little bit of like dissonance or just not a fit between like that line and the rest of the email. So you want to make sure that it actually matches in as best as possible. If you're not able to, then that's still okay, because you're basically saying, hey, I took some time to actually look at your website, and like the more in detail you can say it, the better. And it just means that they feel a bit more like you've actually taken the time to research them. Right. So yeah, you can see here that we're pulling basically product features or any kind of research that we can find on the website for more information to expand out on that initial first line, which is over here. Once we've done that, then what we did is so this is using AI. Then we told AI to basically analyze the answer that the initial AI gave us, which was the AI agent researcher. And just one more note on the AI agent research. It's basically, if you know what to do manually and you can work backwards and you can give AI the steps to do that, and you know what it takes to get the answer manually, then you can do this at scale with AI. So if you want to find very specific information on someone's website, you can do that at scale. It doesn't even have to be on their website. You just provide it a link, and then it will search that link and it will take the steps that it needs to figure out what it is. Now, it's not 100% accurate, of course, just with the AI, like anything with AI, there's some QC that needs to be done, but at least points you in the right direction, right? And you can see where it's going. So you want to try to figure out how to adapt to this kind of stuff, because this allows you to send way more relevant emails at scale than having to send things one-to-one manually and everything. So what we do here is we then tell it to look at the answer that it gave here and basically have like a second part to the first line. So this could be, so based on the input, this line, right, or this mapping here, create a line that comments on the features that I mentioned, and then begin it with dug a little deeper and noticed. And then, so this will be dug a little deeper and notice that you provide integrations with leading e-commerce platforms for SMBs to enterprises, right? Now, again, it's good. It's not the best, but it's good. And the whole goal of this video is just to show you that this stuff worked in helping one of our clients get a client and land a client. This process works, but also to learn how to do some of this stuff at scale. Rather than having to manually message every single business and take up loads of time and cost you energy in terms of hiring SDRs and all this stuff, you could actually just have one person manage this whole thing if they know how to manage all of this AI stuff, because then you don't have to worry about managing different people. You don't have to have all these different SDRs or sales reps or anything. You can just have one person that manages this entire process, basically. So it becomes a lot easier when you can leverage technology and AI to help you do more at scale. And you can still make it hyper-personalized and hyper-relevant. So if you've got a very small TAM, you can still do that. It's just going to save you time. And then what we did in here, so this was a formula column. So we actually combined the line over here the mission statement with the dug a little deeper. So you can see here, dug a little deeper, notice that you provide integrations with XYZ, right? And you can see here, I was on your site and saw that you do this, dug a little deeper and saw this, right? Now the structure for this, I have to give credit to Eric Nowosnowski or whatever his name is. That was the where I kind of got the idea for this campaign from. So thank you for that. And then the next one that we do here is we find who their ideal customer profile is. So here's a company. Can you figure out now, AI, who do they sell to? Based on whatever the description is, who do they sell to? Well, it's most likely if they provide e-commerce solutions and things like that, they probably sell to e-com brands, right? And then you can figure out specifically like who is that. And then it will tell you, software marketers, healthcare administrators, shipping companies, right? And then you can use that as part of your copy. Hey, I saw that you sell to X, right? And I saw that you're releasing these features on your website. We're offering this at the moment. Is that interesting to you, right? It's super, super short and sweet, but it's relevant because it's pulling out information at scale for all these companies without having to do this manually. If you wanted to do this manually, God, it would take you ages, or you'd have to pay a VA to do this. Instead, you could do it with Clay and with AI, and you'd save so much time. Then we also looked at what the niche was. So this is who they sell to. Then what niche are they in? So we could say, hey, we help companies in the, and then specifically, health tech niche, right? Rather than saying we help startups, like there's so many companies that are startup, we help e-com brands, right? So some of them aren't always right. So e-commerce personalization isn't best, right? We want to have it more specific than that. But you can go through and QC these, and that's going to take you way less time than if you have to do this whole thing manually. And then this next one is really cool and one of my favorite things to do with these campaigns. So in the follow-up emails, what we do, instead of having like a regular bump or anything like thoughts on the above or anything, we sometimes do that, but very rarely. What we do is we want to add more value, but we want to do that in a different way. So the great thing about AI is you're basically, instead of saying, hey, I had some ideas for you after looking at this on your website or something, can I send them across? You can just send the ideas across. Right. And the old way of doing this would be to one by one go through manually and send ideas across, or to make the ideas specific yet general enough that they could apply to a bunch of people. Whereas with this, we're able to make every single idea that we generate specific to that business. Right. And again, not always going to be perfect, but it points us in the right direction and gives you an idea and understanding as to what you can do. So you can see so generate three unique, sorry, there was a bug that just landed here. Excuse me. Generate 3 unique and concise social media branding and marketing ideas tailored specifically to SaaS companies with 1 to 20 employees based in the US, and so on and so forth. So this was saying, hey, can you come up with some ideas? And I'll give you the thing to have a look at to come up with those ideas that will help these people based around. And you could change that to whatever you're offering. So, hey, could you write 3 types of copy for this person if they were running Facebook ads? Can you write the title and headline if they were running Google ads? Can you come up with 3 ideas for content based on this? And if you were to do that, you'd have to think and then do it manually. But instead, you can actually send it as one by one. And you can see here what the ideas are. Use LinkedIn ads showcasing pod ports, and it will mention the company name, and it will mention things very specific to that business. So it makes the ideas actually have something. And so it tells the prospect on the other end, hey, this person took time to actually research and look at what we do and then provided some kind of value. Some people won't find it valuable, but others might. And obviously the goal here is to try and get those people that do. And then this was just to kind of clean it up a little bit. And this was a fallback line. So if they didn't have, or there were gaps in the previous steps, we just put something that's a little bit more generic. And this was actually for the 3rd email in the sequence. So instead of saying like, hey, is there someone else to contact? We would put, I had a quick look and noticed you had this number of employees. Are you the right person to contact? And it just gives a little bit more personalization and specificity to the email that we're sending, rather than saying, hey, you're the best person to contact. It looks like we've actually taken the time to research every single one in every single step. And then we launched this campaign and we pushed it straight to Smart Lead from here. And that's where we kind of, how we ran it. So I hope you found this video useful. This was literally our step-by-step of exactly how we helped a client get a client. They're a marketing agency, design agency, and they're clients based in the US. But this is how we used AI to personalize the campaigns, improve the relevance, research, and basically take out a lot of the process of manual work. And if you're hiring, you've got loads of SDRs or sales reps on your team, to remove those and to have basically one small team or one person manage this entire process for a much cheaper and much quicker way of doing it. So yeah, if you found this video interesting, like, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. If you're interested in learning more about like our frameworks, processes, and everything, there is a link in the description below to purchase one of the guides that we have. You can just put however much you think it might be worth. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.